3, 2, 1. Blast off. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. What's up, YouTubers, BandLabbers, and beyond? You are listening to IdiOtBlog 271. You are listening to Liam Burns. Now, here's the thing about Liam Burns. He has the same last name as me, but he is not related to me. Well, maybe deep back he is. If you go to bandlab.com, IdiOtBlog, and then you go to my collections, I have a set of collections which are my interviews in the blogs, where I receive a phone call and do a blog, and I'll be able to do those in video, extreme video format coming even later. But for now, that in video, which would be cool. This is a special track. It's called Untitled. It's from Liam Burns, who is found at bandlab.com/Darth_Necron. That's DARTH_NECRON. You can find it in the description. And as always, I urge you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on alerts. As always, I say a little bit about the artist. This artist is a badass guitarist. He's got an 8-string. He's got an Ibanez M80M. He's dope as fuck. I want one. I'd put a black winter in it. I don't know what he's got in it. That bridge looks so sick. And then here's the thing about this track. Disregard, he says, do not adjust the volume. If you don't have the way to get your volume loud, adjust it. If you need to adjust it down to be able to not get feedback because you only record without monitor, but if you have it quiet enough, it won't be heard, but your voice will be loud and you can kind of hear it just enough, do it. Turn it back up afterwards. Mix it afterwards if you have to. Don't pay too much attention to that, but what he's saying is turn your vocals up to match it. Okay, guys? You see what I'm saying? And then they'll get squished in better, okay? He's doing that work for you, okay? So, now, that being said, this is his first track that is forkable, and it's for people to sing on. And I bet you somebody's going to do more than singing. I bet you somebody on here is going to do singing and a solo. Ooh. So what does that mean? Forkable. Over on the BandLab app, if you haven't used it, go find the BandLab app. You can find it in your app store for Android and for iOS devices. But it also works on your computer. So if you don't have a fucking phone, you're an oldie fogey and you just got a real phone, or whatever the fuck it is, or maybe you don't got reception at home or in the studio, but you got a computer with the internet, well, fuck it. Just go into Chrome-based, recommended, and you can download the Cakewalk free full DAW, start using their DAW, which directly loads to the BandLab app. The BandLab app allows you to A, download videos, B, allows you to share in all their platforms, C, allows you to master, and then D, allows you to collaborate. You can do that two ways. You can invite people to the track that you want to work with specifically. They might decline, they might come. Or you can put it out there full bore like this, forkable, and what will happen is you will see people will try to pick up that track and go, ooh, and you'll see something that you haven't heard before. I got a little distracted changing the track, but that being said, a forkable track leaves you out of the loop. They could be adding things, never publish it, keep it private. If you do an invite, it's hard for some people to want to do that, and here's the reason why, and I want to give you understanding on this, because when you do an invite, every single time they save, you get notified, and everybody else in the project gets notified. So if there's a bunch of really major artists, maybe they don't want to see have their progress seen. Now, note on that, what you can do is if you got invited to something and you don't want people seeing your progress, a smart thing to do would be to take the project, get it sounding the way you want to work with it, and then just save it without your vocals added at all. Make a little save that says for working on. Then go to the share tab, download it into your device, and import that into a new track to work on. When you're done, mute the original track and export that, and that'll be bouncing the vocals to a separate track. We'll have blank spaces in between and lots of reverb. Put that in the project, and then you might even be able to have people help mix your sound of your vocals better. Way cool idea. And if you have vocal harmonies, you might want to keep all those separate. So the lead vocal line and then the harmonies in 2 different tracks, and add those in. So you could fade and adjust the harmonies, or add just chorus to the harmonies, or just reverb to the harmonies and not the vocals. Sometimes you want more reverb on the harmonies because you want that to actually sound like a person that can sing. All of a sudden it sounds more operatic with the right reverb. Yeah, that's my secret, guys. I got a good reverb. I got a good sound system. If I wasn't using this program, I wouldn't have the great sound of the vocals. I do a little something in here. And that leads me to the next topic. But before we get to the next topic, I want to talk about the next artist that we've already moved on to. Oh my gosh, I'm getting fast-tongued there. So we moved on to the artist M. Dallas Wright. Maybe I'm getting fast-tongued because this music is so fast-paced. It's called Lead the Faith Epic Metal Abandon. What the fuck is it called? Lead the Faith Epic Metal Abandon. 2 minutes 19 seconds. 0.19. 5:44 a.m. Explicit. It's explicit because he doesn't want kids hearing how good this is. I haven't heard any lyrics. I haven't been retarded. I was focused on something else. But maybe they're coming soon. It's explicit Christian music. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just messing. So you guys, this is the artist I really wanted to feature today. He's out of SoCal, San Diego, South California. His name is M. Dallas Wright on here. On the app, you find him at bandlab.com, MDALLASW. I got a little vision thing here that was going on. MDALLASW. M. Dallas W. That's how easy it is. This track's almost over. Oh, yeah. There it is. Next track is called Yearning. So I started to make a list, and I decided I had a lot of artists I wanted to feature, so I'm just going to go through their pages. If I begin a song by accident, that's my bad, like I did with one of Liam's. Sometimes when I do that, I'll just ride it out. Ride the fuck up out. Sometimes I'll skip past it. Kids are magically seduced by technologies and food. Oh, sounds good, right? Technology and food. So I have topics today. I'm going to keep on topics. I want to talk about something that was from IdiOtBlog 269. I'm not going to do it again. 269. 269. What's the funny thing about 269 is, or maybe was it? Yeah. Is I was talking about a couple different ways that when you get stale in a recording, that you can get the juices going. Number one, walk away and come back. You know what I'm talking about. You take a break. Maybe it's a smoke break. Maybe you take a drive. Maybe you go see a band that you wanted to see. You're like, oh shit, it's 9:40. They start at 10 or 11. 10 something or 11. Okay, I'll go now. It's 15 minutes away. Definitely get there before they start. You get there, they're set. They're not even setting up yet. You have a beer with your buddies. They play. Come home. Then you write it out totally differently than you would have. You almost it's like you're abandoning the previous thing. But the key is, you walk away and you go live. Man, and you come back with inspirations. I had 11 herbs and spices before the show, so if anybody else wants to partake, go ahead and do it with me right now. What I'm doing here is a pre-recorded, and we're going to watch it together. So I'm going to live it, and we're going to watch together. So it's kind of like how it was aired on BandLab, except for watch together, if you want to, with a bunch of other BandLab users. I'm definitely going to invite everybody featured. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that we're going to feature. We're only 10 minutes into the blog. I will share the first few minutes of the blog in some format to get people to... Oh, yeah, I heard that on the blog. Where's the rest of it? Right there in the link in the bottom. And then maybe I lost track of you there, but what I'm saying is I'm going to post the short snippet that fades and then the link to the YouTube live just before. And I'm going to do that with all of the feature artists, and I'm going to send it to the feature artists so they know, and hey, this is coming up. And yeah, maybe it's uninvited at times, but I think it's well received by many. I've never had somebody go, why the hell did you do it? And if I did have somebody do that, I would probably delete that post and or privatize that post and then repost it with that person removed. Now, don't go trying to fuck with me just saying that, just to say it. Like, maybe Dodge Viper would do it right after we do a show together. Or somebody like that who's got a crazy sense of humor like that shit. We do a show together. He's like, can you remove it now? Who would do it? Who would do that to me? I'm trying to think who would fuck with me that hard. It's probably another Burns that would fuck with me that hard. That's funny though. How do you troll on BandLab? I'll tell you how you troll on BandLab. This is going to be fucked up. And then I'll get to the subject. So number one, I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, how do you do that? How do you troll on BandLab? You're a pretty good guitarist or good bassist and drummer, and you go, hey, I want to start a band. And you get somebody to finally start a band with you. And you get them to make like 10 songs, right? And once they make 10 songs, you go, you just delete it. Or some crap. Delete the music. See, on BandLab, you delete a comment, that's because you felt like an idiot, and you're a fucking emotional person, and you're a musician, and that was stupid, and it was wrong for me to critique you, it was wrong for me to say asinine shit, it was wrong for me to be an asshole. All those things and more are reasons to delete on BandLab and just get it the hell off there. I'll tell you what, BandLab deletes your comments when you do it too. So I get that, and I understand that, and I'm totally vibing with that. What I'm going to say is deleting a whole bunch of music, getting people to join you and then deleting it. That would be a major troll. Right? Am I wrong? That's a form of trolling. I'm not saying that if that happened because there was a dispute, it's a troll. I'm saying you just do it just to delete it. You're just going out there just to mess with people. Create fake accounts, trolling people like that. Like, because you're one of the good musicians on here and you're trying to fuck with people, and maybe you say really discouraging shit when you do it. Think about that. Now, I've never actually thought of that idea until I was just sitting here and thinking about how you would troll BandLab. But think about how up that would be. If I found out somebody's doing that to me, I would just realize how shitty I am and get better. Yeah! Did I just laser cut through you with my fucking shredding? Are they going to make Bill and Ted's 3? What the fuck? So, subject matters. Third way to get a mix better. Second way was you post it as a work in progress and you get people to critique it. Obviously, that's great. There's a third way where you let go even more. And by the way, we moved on from yearning, fusion, prog, metal, jazz to won't you fight for me? ? These are original tracks. These are great, like jamming on keys. It's just cool stuff. So this is when you find yourself. It's got a Zay in it. And the cool thing is, right after this track, what artist do we go to? That's right, a Zay. That's how simple this works. That's how easy this works. That's how I like to do it. And make it easy. I don't know how to think. I just click. I'm done. I went to my space journey through internet space. Okay, so number 3 way. How do you do it? What's the third way? You collaborate. You have to hit this topic right here, right now, right at this moment. with M. Dallas Wright, who's reached out to collaborate with me, and yes, I've fallen short. I am not that tall. I'm a short guy who fell. But I have fallen short. And I will make it so. We'll do something together. I feel it. I feel it. Need a little more light. Need a little more light in here. I'm adjusting my lights a little bit, trying to get that studio feel. That professional feel. Does it feel professional yet, guys? Does it feel like a real blog? Like you're getting featured by some schmuck who thinks he's better than you? Kind of guy? Yeah. Got my radio show. Welcome to Texas Station. Yeah, hope you all enjoy my show. Though I never played a dog. That's not very good. Casey Kasem here. I don't know how to do those guys. I think those guys did those voices, and then it was like a voice to make it beefier. And I just use a good equipment to get it my voice, the full sound of my voice, and I just talk with the low tones. They were like, Casey Kasem here. Doctor 1950s radio guy. Like to bring the sounds to you, boom. You know, it's like, and they were doing it so much that if they used my system, they'd be like Howard Stern effect. You want to sit on that speaker? Yeah. Why don't you sit there? Howard Stern effect. And I only do that with my own voice because, as we move on to a Zay page, I only do that with my own voice, because, like the lowering, because my voice is kind of actually like this German Irish annoying guy voice. So I make it sound like a radio guy. Casey Kasem here. I don't know how he does it. He's like, Casey Kasem here with the news. I never ever blew my nose, or my radio wouldn't sound the same. I don't know how that works. Where's the cotton swabs, guys? The show's about to start. Casey Kasem here, but you're right. Yeah, you know what I mean? The top 40. You know. Holy vocals. If you want female vocals that will blow the minds of your followers, you need to make an intimate musical relationship with a Zay. Hailing out of Nantes, France. No, I've done features of a Zay's music, and I've done features for a Zay because she recently had a friend she lost. But what in that brings is that gives you breathes a new life into you, because you want to do. You kind of want to achieve what they wanted you to achieve. You kind of want to achieve some of the things that they were going to do that you know you wanted to do too. It gives you this new lift. At the same time as there's survivor's guilt and there's depression and why didn't I do this and I wish I never thought with her or wish we were closer. And then talking to people and doing that blog inspired me to make a song about I've lost a lot of friends, about friends I've lost and the feeling of that, and kind of trying to wrap that into like totally moving on from love, a deep love that you have to move on from because something happens, you know, and it's almost like a death too, especially if you have family with them or they've been your family, you know what I mean, they are your family. So when you have those really intimate relationships with, a lot of us consider that marriage, that coitus, to be marriage, to be the union right there. A lot of us. That's my neighbor's Suburban. And it's blending into the bass sounds coming in on the track. I'm going to have a little munch. 20 minutes into the blog, I got some peanut butter Ritz. Got a new cold crispy monster. I'm going to show you this. So this is useful because it does everything. Like it tells you equipment studio, like what's power supply, mic preamps, XLR, what are things. After you know what everything is, how to make it quieter, a whole set of tips on how to make a room quieter. What is your monitoring all about? Why monitor, and what's the best ways to monitor, and power amplifiers, powered monitors, speakers, controlling room acoustics, polarity, speaker placement using the monitors, the cue system, headphones, and conclusion, overall summaries. Hum prevention, whole chapter on hum prevention. You gotta have that. I'll tell you what. A lot of talk, grounding, all kinds of stuff. Microphones, whole chapter on microphones. This kind of thing is cool. You see how thick this is? And then at the end, when somebody mentions something, give me a bounce, a mix down of that. Like a mix down. Towards 60 tells you what a mix down is. Bounce, 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 bounce. Practical terms, right? Bounce, bounce, bounce. What's that? Bounce, bounce, bounce. What's a bounce? I want to know what bouncing tracks, 25. You go to 25, right? You don't know what bouncing is. What's bouncing? Bouncing? I feel like I just bounced. By the way, that was oldie. With Stomachgeist. But 25. This is kind of like rap, like it's cool. Like 90s R&B rap feel with a modern vocal effect. Why does it feel international instantly? It's authentic. That's what it is. This is authentic. So 25, bouncing. When you bounce or ping pong tracks, you mix 2 or 3 tracks together and record the result as a new track. And then you just mix that, like all the drums. You have the 8 tracks. That's a really good drum sound. Bounce them all to 1, left and right, stereo track. Then we'll fade that up and down in the mix. If we have a problem with that, we can rebounce it. And then you're not trying to fade all 8 of them up. See what I'm saying? Bouncing is really cool. If you record all 8 drums in a track on BandLab, let's say somehow, through an 8 amp thing into the DAW or into Cakewalk and then bouncing into BandLab, and it's all 8 tracks. Someone could bounce that down once they're adding guitars, because they'd only have 4 guitars they could add, and then the bass comes, and then boom, maybe there's no room for vocals. They could bounce that down, but then let's say later when you're listening to it, it's like the kick isn't loud enough. They can rebounce it down with the kick louder. That's why that bounce exists. And then this book tells you all those terms. So this is as important as getting more equipment. How do you know what equipment you're going to get next? Because you got a book like this, you guys. Because you want to read. I know a bunch of it's online, but having it right here means when you're on your device, you're not going back and forth between stuff. You're just like, this is really accessible. When you've read it right here in your hands, the pages sink into your brain forever. This book becomes like a part of your brain. Get a good one. This is not a bad one. You want a practical one. All the details you're going to have to relearn. Let yourself relearn for each track. When you're doing something really metal and really you want to sound like Iron Maiden, you just go look up what Iron Maiden does to try and get, oh yeah, the mics are like this and the Iron Maiden does it. See what I'm saying? Now if you got sim, it's way easier. You go find somebody who made an amp sim or make your own based on recommendations. So I want to talk about effects tricks that I use. I don't need this to tell you what I use all the time. So let's go. I have A, B, C, D, E. 4, 5, 1, 2, A, B, C, 5 different things. Can't even freaking count letters. But next track is going to be Suffocation by David Allen Cobb. And you can find him at bandlab.com/southern_shine. And you got him when you see a buddy with a beanie, kind eyes, nice little beard going, and his dark mahogany acoustic. I can't tell if it's 12 or 6 because I can't tell the strings, but I can tell you this much. It's Nice, beautiful wood. Looks like a Diamond I had. Oh, excuse me, Ventura I had. A Ventura guitar that looked like that. Yeah. Turn it up. So what do I do in effects? A lot of the time in effects, I try my best to do it with the speaker placement. The placement of the speaker, where it is on the cone. Secondly, I like to do a lot of EQing right here, this big old shape of EQ and all these on the bass and get the right pickup and guitar for the part. You see, that's why I have so many guitars. First, I like to do that. If I'm going to play a vintage one, I'm going to play one with these Alnico 2s and Alnico 5s that are vintage style. Or if I want to play vintage metal, I'm going to play this guitar with 1983 Seymour Duncans in it. When I play thrash, that's what I play. When I play 90s metal, I play this. In late 80s metal, I play this one right here. It's got dime buckers in it, and a dime bag setup. When I play this one right here, the Warlock with 3 pickups. That's for modern stoner metal. Why? Because it's got the modern Nazgul, but it's a 6-string. It's got the modern Pegasus, the sister and brother to the Nazgul. So I like to get the tones first. Get it sounding in the room like I want, but then secondly, I try to get that sound in here. So, I do have things I use on guitar. Things I use on guitar are panning. I like to pan them just a little bit and kind of make the space different. If I pan something more, I turn up a little more to compensate to make it sound even in the center. And that's a lot about listening. 1, 2, 3, 4 guitars. Bass. I do like direct injection on bass because I got nice powered amps. But I go through an amplifier and direct inject, so I want to test that theory out. But direct inject, I've done a lot of it right into the app and BandLab app, and that was cool. They have cool effects for that. So bass, I'll add a bump around 80 to 60, and then I'll add another bump around 3K to 5K. Then I'll like to have as much of that tube amp sound as I can, but a little bit of that solid state preamp. This amplifier mixes both in the preamps, and then you take that and master it out. I have no master going to the direct. The direct goes to a mixer. It's clean. I just leave it so it's not hitting on the bass. I don't like to have it redlining at all. On the guitar, I don't like to have it redlining at all. On the drums, maybe that's okay on certain instruments. Just every once in a while it hits that red line. But you really got to make sure you aren't getting distortion tones. You're just getting like top of the preamp. DOP digital interface preamps can be touchy. That's why it's really nice to have a mixing console to go through. Or the really nice ones. So that's A, guitar, B, bass. C, drums. Drums, I like to give them a even below 60 hertz boost, just to bring out the thud and the reality in them. I also will find myself in the snare and the cymbals trying to spruce it up. So I may find ways to get the snare hits if anything, the only thing on a separate track, so I can EQ them and bring life to them. Random little tips. I do use a lot of fake drums, so I EQ everyone differently. I have another subject about this EQing that we're going to get into next. Vocals. By the way, this track is awesome. Are we listening to it again? Yes, we are. That's fine. We'll listen to it twice. No problem on that. Good tracks you can listen to twice and not even realize you're listening to it twice. I feel like I make songs like that. You be the judge, guys. But so I like to do that. I like to have the drums and the bass and the guitar scooped, but every one of them scooped in a different little section, and that helps them breathe, but still have like boom. Their individual style of booms. Booming in different areas. Vocals. It's all about mid-range with vocals. It is with the guitar too, but the guitar has a little different mid-range. It's all about being able to get that really clean sound with vocals, and it's all about, that's when it's the most important, that what you're recording is right. Honestly. So everybody out there doing vocal work, you got no I mean, there's some guys putting distortion on their voice, but you got no distortion to hide behind most of the time. So vocal work, hell yeah. Now with synths, every one of them is different, and you want to find the ways for them to fold in. And a lot of time, you're adding them to something. A lot of times, just trust me, you're adding synth after the fact, and you want it to not interrupt the original organics of the song, but still add things. Ways to do that are adding reverb, and adding stereo imaging that keeps them out of the center, where they kind of go like here and then here, and they're not so dominant in the center. Pan them even wider and keep the guitars and the bass and the drums all kind of in the center and in different fields of the center, and the strings wider and the synths wider. So strings and synths is a lot of work, but again, it's a lot about effects. And here's something to really think about. If you have some things that are dry, and those are the things you want to have focus on, the things that you don't want to focus on, you may want to add things like chorus to them, or have delay in them to be more fluttery. And that is a way to hide and coax out really good sounds. Hide the sound in the mix and coax out really sweet, new, creative sounds in that thing that's already supposed to be in the background. The quieter you can have those background parts, the better. I suck at that. That's about getting their sound isolated down to just their core sound that you like, and taking other parts of EQing other parts of it without affecting the tone of it. That's a key. And then having a nice quiet sound floor. I can't tell you how many times this book mentions everything needs to be quiet. The quieter everything is, the better. So you got to think of the voice and the type and the range of the instrument you're using, and use that to your advantage creatively. Basically. You almost want to sometimes break boundaries with synths and sounds and the things you do. If not, to come back later and say, nah, I won't do that again. And it's a good lesson to do. Who cares if someone gets critical on you? Just say, hey man, I was just fooling around. A test if you will. It's a whip, bro. Cool it, it's a whip. Stop it. Stop getting so critical. So work in progress. This is some bluesy stuff. Trials, this track is called, by David Alvin Cobb. You can find him at bandlab.com/southern_shine. Heck yeah. So remember those kinds of things. Break boundaries. Don't forget to fool around. I'm not going to tell you all the tricks, because I can keep breaking them out in pieces and in parts, because I don't want you to just do exactly what I do and then end up with the same shitty sound I got. Who's the next artist? Well, we have a track called Sunday Chill, and it's by Lisa's Piano, which you can find at bandlab.com/LIZA_piano. And as always, all the links are in this description for the video. And as always, on BandLab as well now, because I'm not banned anymore. It's not BANNEDLAB, it's BANDLAB. Back. I'm back. I stick my tongue out. Is that too many times? Is that 18, 15 times? Count how many times I do it in the blog. If you get it right, you win a prize. What's the prize? I do it more times tomorrow. At least my tongue doesn't got warts. Oh wait, it does. It just don't stick it out that far. Okay, you're gonna get the point on this quick. You're gonna get the point. You're gonna want to have to go over there and listen, because what this is piano. What'd you fucking think it was? Come on, guys. Simple as that. Nothing crazy. It's just piano. But the cool thing is it's not only listenable, it's workable. So she is definitely in the community here. She's got stuff just from a few days ago where she says she was inspired by another member here to make another piece, compose another African number. And so after this one wraps up, we'll listen to that one next. We'll listen to a couple of them and we'll go to another one. Yeah, IdiOtBlog, one of my favorite musicians on here, and one of the many that I love. Not gonna play favorites. I'm just gonna tell you all that you're my favorites. That's a thing that comes from my family. I don't know if that's a big widespread Burns thing, but I know that in my family, what we do is we say, my favorite son, Jimmy. Then the other son comes in. My other favorite son, Jacob. My favorite son, Reed. And then if they're all in the room together at the same time, maybe you go, my favorite son, my favorite oldest son, my favorite youngest son, and just add something so that it's the only one. My favorite middle son, and that's as simple as it is. Everybody's your favorite. My favorite nephew, my favorite aunt, my favorite this, and you say it every time, and it's a big I love you thing. I love you this much. I love you this much. I love you that much, guys. Band love, love you. Big old hug from the Burns. Woo, out of breath from that. Oh, woo. Some more snacking. Give me another minute and I'm gonna have to check up there because I heard a crinkling sound, and that could just be the eating, but baby gets in trouble. So, I want to talk about inspiration. Looking forward to results. Producing results. Getting positive feedback. And how that's an important part of breaking boundaries as well. Different kinds of boundaries. Not musical boundaries. Well, musical boundaries, but not musical boundaries in what you're writing, but musical boundaries in and then actually playing, and actually performing, and actually committing to actually recording. Performing, recording, and committing to doing it. Trying to find ways to be unafraid or move past the fear that you suck. The belief that you actually suck. The belief in yourself that you have no belief in yourself and that you suck, and the fear is setting in. The fear is better and stronger than you are, and you won't actually perform and make something great because you have the fear. Boom! How do you break free? You got places like BandLab where people listen and they comment. You got places like YouTube and BandLab and they listen, they comment, they interact. You got guys like me who listen and they comment and they interact. Listening to this beautiful track makes you feel like I could get on a different road and try some different music for a while because this is beautiful. I want to do something like this. Beautiful. Lucky find for me. Lucky find for you. If you haven't found her yet, go find Liza's Piano at bandlab.com/LIZA_PIANO. I burped, I farted, I swore. I hope she's okay with that. I hope she's a modern musical lover of queerly obtuse and rude fuckers like me, who just like to listen to music and share music and play music and be part of music and be part of a community. So, I'm gonna go check the kid and I'll talk about this subject. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, that was quick. Everything I saw was fine so far. But I can tell you what, she's working towards doing something wrong. So when this track ends, I'll move to the next artist. Let you know who that artist is. Yeah, there we go. Next artist is Harakesh Dubey. Horror style beat. So let me talk about the nerve. Let me talk about what happens when you let fear win. What happens when you let fear win is you stop producing. You're not going to get any positive feedback at all. You're not going to get any critical feedback that might hurt for a moment and sting like a bee sting, but after a bee sting, you learn how to get that honey even quicker and faster. So, and more effectively. What is my daughter doing? So, you got to understand the full implication of what fear is. So, how do you move past it? I can't tell you how you move past it. It's a challenge. It's a personal challenge, but I can tell you that what happens when you move past it is an amazing thing. It's called feedback. It's a feedback loop. It's a positive feedback loop. Even if there's negative feedback, there's positive feedback loop always. Even the negative stuff is a positive to the positive feedback loop. It's this AC current we're talking about. It's ups and downs. You just take all that energy, you suck it, and you use it. Boom, you put it in to the next project. So what am I getting at? What am I getting at? What am I getting at? I'm saying this, is that when you get past the fear and the inhibition and you start doing it, you start getting results, start getting that positive feedback. It feeds you to do it again. If you do more, then you get even more of that. Then you get even more of that. You're even more excited. And it's like it's working on that part of your brain. It's like that's like satisfying part of your brain, like accomplishing. Like if you already see you're accomplishing at work, you're accomplishing in your family, and there's your creative side felt like it was suffering. See, it's not bad. She's here. Now you can find a way to get that trifecta. And you're balanced. Now all you do is, when you're done with all three, you just take a walk in the woods and you feel like the king of the castle. Take a walk with your family and you feel like the king of the castle because you're creative being, you're earning, dedicated being. Jeez, these dogs. And you're out. Oh, that's a song. That was the dogs. You're earning outside the home and your balance of being in the home and your creative self, family, and out in society. It's got balance. Then you're ready to go. Next artist we're going to listen to is it's a song called You Are What You Hate When You Hate, and it's by Shatay Laban. And that's great because that gets on the subject. And this is all instruments by her, except for Matt Dunlap on the drums. And what I'm saying is, if you let fear take over, what do you become? What they want you to be. You become highly inhibited. So feedback, it's important. It's about a deeper interaction. It's about friendly critiques. It's about improvements. It drives you to continue, and it helps you push through the fear. I don't know exactly what to say, but you got to put yourself out there, one leg at a time, one step at a time. Next thing you know, you're in the party, you're fully immersed, you're part of the band, that you're on stage. Boom. And you're making the money for the soul by creating and being free of those inhibitions and fears. That feeds the soul. I can't believe my daughter's being good all the way up till now. 44 minutes. 45 minutes. Okay, be right back. For real this time. Gotta get her. You guys, sorry about that. Next song. Didn't realize it was gonna do that, but yeah. Totally caught her red-handed, except for I didn't catch her. Why is that? Because I went out there, and where were you? Nowhere. She was already hiding in her own bed. And after I didn't flip out and I looked around and I saw it, all she did is she poured something out, and it's a cheap item, it's a $2 item she poured out, and it's not even messy, it's a dry product. Oatmeal. Happened to my wife, now it happened to me. You could get mad at me for getting mad at you now. So, what artists are we featuring now? We're featuring John Even Hurting. And you can find him at bandlab.com/HJERDING_93. This is Cotton Times radio edit. Very cool. Very cool track. This is one of the times where I go into the artist blind. Why not? I'm allowed to do that. This is my show. It hasn't served me wrong. I have techniques and algorithms in my own system of finding people in such a way that almost always works. And you know what it is? I look for people who say kind things and astute things, musical things, about people I'm already looking to feature and have already liked the music of. Almost guarantee you could blindly go into one of those accounts of somebody who's astutely talking on the level about music on somebody's tracks and commenting, and find music like this on the level, ready to go. My daughter is trying to break all my nylon guitar strings by over-tuning them. Please don't, but please have fun with the guitar. Enjoy the guitar. Thank you. If it sounds like the guy's really out of tune, it's probably because he might be a little out of tune here and there, but this daughter adding guitar is not helping. So, in case you were wondering what's happening, a lot of things are happening right now. Oh, I'm getting tickled. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. I've been tickled. So I wanted everybody else to celebrate with me one more time. I got a new car. It's maroon. It's got a bunch of seats. It's really spacious. It drives really nice. It was a good price. It's low miles, the 60,000 mark. I can go take my kids on hikes. I can take my dogs to the park. I could take all my family to Chelan. I can do all these kinds of things that I couldn't do before. We can get to work. My wife can get to work. At the same time, her and I can go to different places and work in different areas. Boom. Ready to go. I don't know if we're going to get to 8. We're going to get to 8. I think we maybe only get to 7 artists today on the blog, but that's all right. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's 8. Yeah. Whoa, 8 artists plus me. I'm like 10 artists, so that's 18 artists. I'm at least 1.1 artists. See, be careful, dear. That's a good spot for it, like this. Okay. Hold on with that. You got some food on your face. You got a piece of oatmeal in the back of your hair. It's a piece of oatmeal. I want to mention something before the blog ends or whatever. I want to go, hey guys, I got this book. Oh, not this book. These set of books. Mini books. Manny books. M-A-N-Y. Manny books. How is that face? Please don't climb on here. Please don't climb on that. It's too high. From last night. Okay. But, you want a bite? I love you too. Is that good? Well. These are the books. Two main ones. An artist like him would like this. A lot of artists like me and many others see that D, E, F, G, A. That's the key. And see those sets? Those are different sets of chords. See those numbers? Patterns of chords that work together within a key. Pages and pages and pages and pages of chords that work together within the keys. It's called progressions and improvisation. Scales and modes. Ways to go in different scales and modes. Is it in the key of whatever something's in the key of? Is it what chord are you playing? That chord, G major. Notes that work with it. In improvisation, in the back half, they have that also. Notes that work with what chord. Scales and roots for bass. I'm going to talk more about all these soon. Chords and voicings. What's up? You got rid of the gate? Good job. Dogs are in here. Chords and voicings. Different ways to do different, all the different chords. Tons of different chords. And you can work those in, uniquely work those into this. Or, when you're working in these, add these little chords in to your solos. And then I have a couple more, but this one's just a simple one about scale compatibility. When you're changing from chord to chord, ways to make scales work. It's very interesting, and I'm not quite there. And see the books like fresh. These two I don't use as much. And then there's another one I want to get. It's called Finger Style, and it's patterns for picking with 3 fingers or more. with your fingers. It's all 1, 2, 3, 4 and thumb. T, 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger picking technique for your right hand. I want something about it. That's all left hand. That's all a bunch of left hand stuff. I want some right hand. I want one right hand book. I want that one. Different ways to pluck the chords. So, just really cool set. They kind of cover everything you could ever want to know about guitar and bass. All in a nice cohesive set. They're called the Guitar Grimoire by Adam Cadmon / Carl Fisher Publishing. All right. So this is the last track. It's called Other Kind of Species, and as it's playing, we'll end the blog. Really? You don't fucking say there, buddy. On that note, well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed what I talked about, subject matters. That is IdiOtBlog 271. We are music. Keep rocking, everybody.